Welcome to a new story from the channel, From My Heart to Yours. Today's story is Life is Only a Moment, an original story by the channel. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and enable notifications to stay updated with our latest content. Your support helps us continue providing more amazing stories. And now let's begin today's story. Life is Only a Moment. Grandfather Hassan sat on his rocking chair on the balcony of his house, gazing at the sky as its colors gradually shifted toward sunset. Beside him sat his young grandson, Adam, watching him with curiosity. Adam was used to hearing his grandfather's old stories, which he loved. But this time, Hassan seemed lost in thought, as if traveling through time with his eyes. Hassan sighed and said in a quiet voice, "Adam, do you know what the strangest thing in this world is?" The little boy shook his head, so his grandfather smiled sadly and said, "That you wish for time to pass quickly, and then suddenly, you wake up to find that it has truly passed, and disappeared." Then his mind drifted back to the past, where it all began. Hassan was once a little boy running through the alleys of old Cairo with his friends, laughing without worries, stealing moments of joy from life without realizing their true value. The scent of fresh bread filled the streets, and the voice of the bean vendor called out in the morning. He dreamed of growing up quickly, wanting to be like his father, a man with a job and responsibilities. He never realized that childhood was the most beautiful time of life, a time he would never be able to reclaim. As the years passed, Hassan began to feel that childhood was slipping away, replaced by a passion for exploration and adventure. Sometimes, he would skip school to go to the cinema with his friends, watching black and white action films and imagining themselves as heroes saving the world. Everything seemed possible, and he believed that time was slow, that growing old was a distant thing. But it was approaching step by step, unnoticed. Immediately after graduating, Hassan landed a job at a major company. He was full of energy and enthusiasm, yet he was always waiting for time to pass. He wished for work hours to end quickly so he could meet his friends at the cafe. He wished for the days to fly by so he could enjoy his weekend. He eagerly awaited the end of the month to receive his salary and experience a few fleeting moments of happiness. He didn't realize that every moment he wished away was a piece of his life itself. Hassan married the love of his life, Nadia, and they had 2 daughters. At first, he cherished every moment with them, but gradually, work consumed more and more of his time. He watched his daughters grow before his eyes, yet he kept postponing spending time with them to a later time that never came. He thought life would always offer him more chances, but he was mistaken. His daughters grew into beautiful young women, but Hassan remained busy with work and obligations. He spent his days between his office and home, always planning for the future but never paying attention to the present. One night, his eldest daughter sat beside him and asked, "Dad, you're always busy. When was the last time we went out together and had fun?" He laughed and said, "Once I finish this project, we'll go on a trip. I promise you." But the projects never ended, and time never waited. Every time he postponed moments of happiness, life stole them from him without him realizing it. Hassan retired at 60, as if waking up suddenly to find that life had passed him by. He looked in the mirror and saw a man whose face bore the marks of time, with eyes lost between nostalgia and regret. It was then that he realized, the years he had wished would pass quickly had been his life itself. He looked at his grandson, Adam, and patted his head, saying, "If I could go back, I would do everything differently. I would spend more time with my daughters, take them out, and enjoy life together. I would try new foods, roll down the car window, and let the wind mess up my hair without a care. I would memorize the Quran, laugh more, and live each day as if it were my last. The little boy held his grandfather's hand and said eagerly, "But Grandpa, you still have time. We're still here. You can do all of that now." Hassan smiled and wiped away a tear that had tried to escape from his eyes. Then he said, "You know what? Maybe you're right. I can't go back to the past, but I can live the rest of my life the way I wish I had lived it before." Then he stood up and said, "Come on, Adam. Let's go out and have some ice cream, and let my hair be as the wind pleases." The little boy laughed, holding his grandfather's hand as they stepped outside. The sun was setting slowly, but this time it did not symbolize the end of something. Instead, it marked a new beginning.